Right, so I'm doing some electrolytic rust removal here on this old railway spike. So I've got a power supply. It's hooked up, negative lead connected to the railway spike, positive lead connected to these iron electrodes, bits of rebar. Hook this up to my multimeter, and that's in current mode at the moment, and we've got 0.147 amps, so not a whole lot. Now I've got washing soda here as the electrolyte. Now I'm going to add in a splash there. Well, look, we can see the current going up already. Now if I give that a bit of a stir to dissolve it better, look at that, up to 0.5 of an amp now. So it's gone about 5 times now just from adding that current. So I'm just going to add some more in. So 5. Let's just give that a good stir, let it dissolve. Okay, up to 1 amp now. So this is a 12 volt 3 amp supply. So I don't want to go past 3 amps, otherwise that will blow it. But I think we can add in a fair bit more. Yeah, 1.4 amps. So what's happening here is we've got a 12 volt supply. Now water doesn't actually conduct electricity very well unless you put an electrolyte in. So we're adding an electrolyte, and what's happening there is that the electrolyte means the water conducts the electricity better. Now Ohm's law for electricity, V equals IR, so we've got 12 volts coming out of the supply. We've got the resistance between the positive electrode and the negative electrode, and that dictates the current. So by adding more washing soda, we decrease the resistance, which increases the current. So right there, we're up to 2.2 amps. I think we can go a little bit higher. .4 amps. Probably won't go too much higher than that, just so I don't burn out my power supply. So whilst it is 3 amp supply, probably running it at 100% all the time isn't a great idea. Now, just out of interest, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unclip one of these electrodes and we'll see what impact that has. So currently 5 amps. Unclip that. And look, down to 0.69 amps. So what that is about is the surface area between the electrodes makes a big difference to the conductivity. And clipping it back up now, it jumps right back up. So what will be interesting now is if I unclip the other one and see what difference it makes. Which is a bit hard to do because I don't have 3 hands. But there we go, got it. Interesting. Okay, so I only dropped it down a bit, so what that tells me is this electrode here isn't really pulling much weight. The connection might be a bit dodgy. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.